Well, I'm the manager here at Mi Tierra restaurant, and day-to-day tasks and little jobs to encounter and tackle with can kind of vary from day to day. It depends sometimes in the season, if it's like, the spring season, the summer season, or the fall season, as we do see a lot of different waves with our clientele, and they all vary in the form as to how they want to work with parties and events. Key example, being December, it's more like, a festive holiday, Thanksgiving, a lot of companies, big corporations, as to compared to the spring season, which is kind of like, a more family, smaller groups, a lot of communions, baptisms, weddings, birthdays, graduations. So it varies the day-to-day job, and it kind of depends on what's occurring every week. But there's almost always something going on. I started working here roughly around 7 years ago. On the first, first week opening back up. First week was very popular. Big hectic. Just like anything that you're about to reinstate or kind of put back into pace. You will have your setbacks and your obstacles, but I do recall that first week being very stressful and very heavy workload. Well, the idea and the concept of it was to not change it. I mean, don't fix something that's not broken. And previously, we had a strong clientele with certain tastes, and they knew what they wanted. They knew exactly what they wanted. And when we reopened the restaurant, that was kind of the mindset for it was to kind of stay within the same concept. We actually brought back the majority of the chefs, the same staff from the previous restaurant as well. So they all came back with the same ideas, same recipes. But I would want to be honest, and there are some modifications, some changes, and sometimes changes to the platters are a little bit better. Maybe being a little bit more eccentric with presentations, and even change up a recipe here and there. The specialty of the house, I think, would be the parrilladas. I wouldn't necessarily call it a dish, because it's more like a grill at your table that has an assorted variety of cuts of meats and poultry as well. And I would say that's the party favorite for the restaurant. I feel like our domain and our strength for the restaurant is large groups, as I mentioned. And the parrilladas tend to work really well, gives this kind of family style kind of feeling to it as everyone's dining out. But I would definitely give the prize to the parrilladas. We have a parrillada de lujo, which is a grill at your own table. It's got an assorted cuts of meat and topped with shrimp. That's probably our number one dish.